days. Listen, y'all, we have been having some phenomenal guests, and tonight we are being joined by Sophia. For those who may not know who you are yet, I'm going to tell who you are to my audience. For those tapping in, I want you guys to go ahead and just shout her out if you are tapping in because you are one of her friends, one of her committee members. You know, Sophia, I want you guys to shout her out, say hello in the comments section. But listen, it's going to be a great conversation tonight. So, without further ado, y'all bear with me because I'm normally not very good with doing these bios, but I'm due because this woman wears a lot of hats and is a phenomenal shiro. So, bear with me, y'all, when I try to do these bios because I'll be like, uh, uh, we got to figure out a way YouTube on how we can actually do some voiceovers and kind of pre-record beforehand so that we can get right on in. And it wouldn't do justice to have her read her own bio. So, Miss Sophia, let's get on in. How you doing tonight, by the way, hun?
I am doing well. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. Great to
I'm
get on with
excited
you,
to
another
have
phenomenal woman yourself. Shiro in her own right. It's a pleasure.
I'm excited to have you. Now, as a woman who wears many hats, I do not want to not do justice to your bio. So I'm trying to do this and do it well so that we operate in the excellence that we continue to operate in. I know you do a lot of phenomenal things. So let's go. Let's make sure we do this right. So, Sophia Holder is a woman's empowerment advocate. My camera ain't being nice tonight. All right. All right. So, Miss Sophia Holder is a woman's empowerment advocate, a certified life coach, speaker, transformational leader, committed to helping women heal, lead, and thrive. Listen, we can all benefit from that kind of service, especially in the day and times that we're in. So, we're going to be talking about that. She is the president and CEO of the United Barbadian in Georgia. Now, as a Caribbean woman, we definitely gonna talk about that. And without even getting into that, Sophia's organization is the proud sponsor of tonight's episode. So we're excited to have her. Not only is she the president of, Barbadian is definitely a tongue twister, so y'all just bear with me. But not only is she the United Barbadian in Georgia, where she leads initiatives and uplifts the Caribbean community through culture, service, and um, civic engagement. Sophia is also the visionary behind the UBiG WE Foundation. The WE Foundation, which is something we're going to be talking about, a women's empowerment platform that supports young women from 18 to 35. We understand how important that age is. So that's an important critical age through education, mentorships, access to vital resources. Sophia holds a master in education, brings over decades of experiences in nonprofit leadership and human services. She currently serves as a program liaison for DFCS Motherhood program, mothers who are thriving, where she empowers mothers through parenting, education, case management, trauma, informed care. Girl, you doing it all. She is rooted in purpose, healing, and making an impact. Whether coaching 101, we're going to need your service. Speaking to audience or designing empowerment services, Sophia is on a mission and remains clear to help women rewrite their story. Rise into their full potential with confidence, clarity, and community. Sophia has been featured in several publications, as she should, because she's a shiro. Include Voyage ATL, shout out Atlanta, Canvas Rebel magazine, where her journey and leadership have been spotlighted as a voice of empowerment, whew, and transformation. My God. Now, listen, having heard all of that, you're like, wait a minute, that's me right there. That's me.
I am a little bit, wow, that's me.
That's
Yes,
me.
that's
I
me.
have
That's
done
me.
all of
Wow.
I have done all of those things and more.
and
Oh my
more.
gosh, that is
Wow.
such a phenomenal. So, first of all, welcome to Entrepreneur Mondays. It is our goal, and it has been my goal to speak with women who are a force to be reckoned with, like yourself, who are making a difference in the community, who are reaching women and men, because we do have some women reaching men as well, just making a difference through the work that they do, whether they're building a brand, with whether they have built a brand, whatever phase or stages they're at. Entrepreneur Mondays was started to highlight women like yourself who I can see wear many hats, and we definitely got to talk about the coaching and different things that you offer to women. And once again, I want to say thank you for being the sponsor for this episode. We're going to talk about the trip that you have coming up, because listen, I think that everybody can definitely benefit from a trip, a vacation, a getaway from the everyday, because life be life. And so, welcome to Entrepreneur Mondays.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate that. Thank you. That was a whole mouthful, and you got through it, man. You got through it. So I'm going to help you a little bit. With
yes,
Barbadians, we are blessed with being twofold, so we can be Bajan or we can be Barbadian. So I think
got you.
Bajan will be easier for you, so you can flow with that tonight. Okay?
Got you,
Okay.
got you, got
Okay.
you, got you. All right. So there's a lot of things that we have covered, especially in your bio. Now we want to kind of get into your healing and purpose, the impact you do. You work deeply rooted in healing. What role has your personal healing journey played in your personal missions work?
Well, my personal healing journey is everything about my work, right?
Right.
We all have a story, right? We all have a story. And I think in my personal experience allowed me to go through what I've been through so I can now go reach back and help others.
That
I
absolutely.
don't coach from a platform of philosophy or doctrine. It's all from experience. Now, I
Got.
have the philosophy, I have the doctrine, I have that
Mm-hmm.
educational experience, but it's my personal experience that drives me. One of the things with my program, Mothers Who Are Thriving, the reason why we're able to connect and it has had its successes is because my moms get comfortable with me because I share from my personal story. Um,
Right.
when we're discussing a situation and I'm speaking about domestic violence, I can speak from personal experience. My
Got you.
mom was a teenage mother
Got
who
you.
didn't who lost her mother at 12, so she wasn't
Mm,
able to mother me. So there's a
wow.
disconnect for me in not having that guide of a parent and having that nurturing, right? I was
Right.
raised by my parental grandmother, right? So when I speak to my moms between that age group that doesn't know nurturing, I didn't know nurturing. I had to
Right.
learn it. So as I'm guiding you through how to walk that journey,
Mm-hmm.
I can share many, and there are many, too many to name tonight, of
Right.
personal experiences that has grounded me in this work. It was my reason to go. I went back to school as an adult, right? An adult learner. It wasn't a journey for me where I came out of high school and went straight into college. So I went back to school as a mother of two
Wow.
and worked a full time job, went to school full time, and showed up for my kids full time. So
Wow.
it was not an easy feat, right? I did,
I'm
and
sure.
that drive to go back to school was through all those traumas, all those things that I needed to heal. I'm on the other side of it today, and it behooves me to give back, right? We all need a support system. We all need
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it best. From an educator, from education to empowerment, what inspired the shift from traditional education to transformational leadership? Because being an educator and, transforming into leadership, what was it about that you're like, you know what?
it- it- I was always a leader, right? I'm naturally an
Absolutely.
influencer. I'm born that way. So I was running from it. That's how I ended up in education.
A
and you
lot of us
can't
run
run.
from our leadership roles.
Right. And you can't run from your gift, right?
Woo, that's the
You
word.
can't run from your gift. So I went all around it. I tried every which way to dodge it, but it kept showing back up. And I am
Mm,
living in my best glory now that I'm walking in my purpose, right?
that's good
So
right there. Come
it,
on, you
it,
better preach.
no, this is how I got here. As a kid, I'm gonna tell a couple of stories. As a kid on the playground, right? If the kids are playing, let's jump rope. Jump rope, I would say, I don't want to jump rope. I'm playing hopscotch. And everyone would stop. Oh, no, I'm not going to jump rope. Sophia's playing hopscotch. And they'll just follow me. I never asked anyone to hopscotch with me. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I was going to do. And it was, I watched that as I came through life. I
Right.
never really was a follower. I just did me. And for some reason, folks just followed along. So as
Absolutely.
life continued, I was working at a great job at American Airlines. I had great
Ooh,
benefits.
yeah, I'm
I was flying
sure.
all over the world. My kids was traveling first class. I You had pension and a 401k, but I felt I wasn't doing enough, and I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I wanted to touch lives. So I decided to go back to school. I went back to school, and school, I just love learning. And then in learning,
That's
I
awesome.
started doing substitute teaching, and I was going to be a substitute teacher to go into counseling. And the kids said, "Oh no, Miss Holder, you should be a teacher. We love you, Miss Holder." And I started teaching, right?
Right.
But I recognized I couldn't impact the community, impact the family the way I wanted to or needed to within the confines of the classroom, right?
Got you.
And that is what led me to go into nonprofit and just started working in the field of touching others. And here we are today. Wait, let me rewind. I was at church in Miami about 10, 15 years ago, and we had to do it was a course of learning who we are and our gifts. And my gift was revealed to me that I was to be a teacher, guide, leader, influencer, is the way they said it. But it came with such powerful words and responsibility. And I was
Yes.
like, well, who me? No, 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 no. I don't want to do that. So
Pick
that's how I went
somebody
in.
else, not
Pick
me.
somebody else, not me. So I went into teaching, right? And I love to perform. I love to entertain others. So I did all of that. I worked 99 and then some jobs. You would think I was Jamaican. I did it all, just trying to get away from it. And now that it has all come full circle, I couldn't be happier because I
That's
see the difference
awesome.
in the lives that I'm making. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And that's funny because, I'm really glad we're having the opportunity to have this conversation. And for those who will catch the replay, when I first met you, what I loved about you was just your personality and how you radiate and how you got on in front of everybody and through humor. I love humor. And your humor was just like, I was like, you know what? She cool peoples. Like,
I try to be.
yeah, I was like, she really cool peoples. It was just you made it fun. The atmosphere was a little bit, but you came in and you were just like, I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
So
In my other life, if anyone is out there listening, I'm going to be a comedian, right?
I would
So
I would
I'm
come and see
practicing
you.
for that. I'm practicing for that. But I love to bring joy to other people. And I think that sometimes we navigate life a little bit too seriously.
We
And
do.
we got to find spaces to smile, right? And laugh and feel good.
Absolutely.
It goes a long way. It's like the apple a day keeps the doctor away, so does the smile.
I listen, and for me, I think it is important to keep laughter at the forefront. That she is. Love her spirit.
Yeah, I do
But
it. And what I think is great, I am able to touch lives, whether it's young babies love me, or men really love me, or women
I'm
admire
sure.
me, girls respond to me. So it's really great to be able to reach everyone on that level, right? And
Yeah.
I can't dim my light for anyone. And I've tried. I suffered from imposter syndrome for many years.
We all
because
have.
like I didn't want people to feel uncomfortable and maybe this is not for
Absolutely.
me. I've been there. But when you accept who you are and
Yes.
walk in your shoes, honey,
Yes.
the sky
Yes.
is your limit. You know,
I
the sky is your limit.
Absolutely. And there's something about coming into who you are finally that feels very refreshing, that feels very liberating. When you have worn a mask for the longest time or try to people please. I know for myself, I struggle with trying to make everyone happy. And I was like, Simone, you are never going to make everyone happy, because in you trying to make them happy, you make yourself unhappy. So therefore, what you
And
trying to
what
do?
do another thing that's important for us as Caribbean women, right? We are
Absolutely.
taught to be seen and not heard,
Yes.
not to gloat, right? If you speak up and speak proudly of yourself, oh, she's full of herself, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so then we would dim our light because we don't want people to say we enough, right? We don't. Oh, yeah, she's so conceited. But it is
Yes.
okay. It is okay to love you. It is okay to
Absolutely.
accept you. It is okay to walk in your light. As long as you're not, see, there's nothing about Sophia that says I am wonderful and I am great that denounces Simone.
I, Ooh, come
I
on
don't
now.
denounce Simone. Simone shines in her own light. So as long as
Yes.
you're not doing that, it is okay to say I shine bright like a diamond. And we all
Absolutely.
should feel that way about ourselves, right? We all
Absolutely.
should feel that way about ourselves.
Oh man, you talking the talk. As a woman empowerment coach and someone who encouraged women to rewrite their story, can you share a moment where you had to rewrite your story?
Girl, that's every day. What's wrong with you?
That's every day, all the
Listen,
time.
I I'm a beautiful 50 something year old, right? I
And
have
you look
not yet.
amazing.
I was raised by my grandmother and she's real old school. And I know today we love to shout it from the rooftop, but my grandmother says the woman's age ain't nobody's business. And I believe in that. So
Listen,
in
when
my
you look,
journey,
no,
no,
hold up a second.
that's
When
what they
you look
say.
as fine as you do, you better be like, Child, I'm 50 fine, 50
Child,
fine, okay?
55, 55, that's a good one. That's what it is. I am 55 and
Yes,
loving every minute of it. And in that journey, I've had to rewrite my story plenty of times, right? Oh
absolutely.
Lord, which one did I share?
We're- we're-
Well, for example, rewriting my story, I as a mom, I remember becoming a single mother. I
yes,
resented that so much. I did not want that journey. I wanted to hold my family together. I wanted to be a two-parent family. I did not want the stigma. So I
right.
tolerated a lot of abuse and
Mhm.
uncomfortableness to just have the look of
The
a
look,
family, right? So I had to rewrite my story. I had to separate myself and I had to start all over again on my terms and raise those
right.
two kids and go back to school and struggle with their dad at that time to get him on board of the idea of co-parenting because he was like, "You're not leaving me, how dare you?" So he was so against it that was a struggle, right? So I had
Oh
to
man,
learn, I had to guide him through that till we got to the point where we could successfully co-parent. And then I became okay in the idea of my kids had two parents. We just weren't
right.
together, right? And we
Exactly.
made a lot of decisions together in terms of schooling and disciplining the kids and carrying the kids through.
Right.
And in that moment, becoming liberated within myself, knowing my worth to say, I can step out of this and get beyond this hurt. Me was the pivotal rewriting my story.
Mm.
That was rewrite my story number one or five. Could have been five because, there's some before that. But there's been a couple of stories that had to be rewritten.
Right. Right.
And I think as women, we got to get comfortable with that. We got to get comfortable with the different chapters that we are going to navigate through life. Friends are
Absolutely.
going to change as we navigate to different positions,
Yes,
right? Those chapters are going to look different.
they
And
are.
friendships that are going to stay, the same person is going to be with you, but the dynamics of that relationship is going to change over time. And we have to constantly show up and be ready for rewriting that part of the story. It's all part of the journey of life.
Oh man. Whew. You said a mouthful right there. This is wisdom speaking. This is
Oh
definitely
Lord.
this is
Sophia means wisdom, y'all. That's what it is.
that's what it
Sophia means
means.
wisdom. Look it up. Yes, Sophia. My mama knew I was gonna be a superstar. She named me Sophia Loren, honey. She said this one coming out here right now. This is Sophia Loren. Yes. I don't
Oh
know where
my
Loren's
gosh,
comes
I cannot
means,
with you.
but Sophia is wisdom. I'm just thinking Lorraine stands for cute because the two go together. That's all I'm saying.
It all flows together.
Yeah, yeah,
Wisdom,
that's what I say.
cute. It all
It just
goes
goes together.
together.
Yeah.
You know what it is, and you said something that I want to touch base on because being Caribbean, a lot of times there's an expectation for failure,
Hmm.
not outwardly saying it. Sometimes they will, because they don't sugarcoat. But so we
Hmm.
want to show them that, listen, we can overcome, we can do this, we're different. We fight so hard to be different, we fight so hard not to fit into what it is that we have grown into and become. I know for me, I didn't see marriage being the founder of Dear Future Husband and Wife. I said, God, you could have given me anything else. You gave me a marriage platform, an advocate for women. I got to fight for my own marriage. And it's like, ain't that something? But I think there's something so victorious about saying, no, I'm not staying, just like you rewrote your story. I'm not staying in this thing just so my family can feel or think that, oh my, because here's who gets affected: our children who know what's really going on.
Going on.
Because we're not
Hmm.
walking around radiating joy and happiness. They're like, Mama, we know you ain't happy. We know you stay with we heard the arguments with
And they
dad.
also know that dad's not happy too, right? Because dad is not happy. There's two people in here that's not happy. We got
Right.
to be real about that.
There
Right.
you go. There you go. So we stay in things and we stay a part of things way longer than we really need to because
We
we
really
don't
need.
we don't want to fit into the norm of what it is that we've seen, and we really want to break those generational curses and those familiarity, not knowing that being strong is breaking because y'all, I know my mom, she stayed way longer than she really needs.
Than she
She's still
needed
in a
to.
relationship.
I'm going to tell you a two-part story because there's some things you said that I want to just touch on real quick.
Yes.
That being strong part is a sensitive area for me because I want us as women to know that we endure and we can navigate and we can get through some things. But I don't like the facade of strong because we too are emotional beings. We feel and we hurt. And we need to acknowledge that in order to get through to the other side.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that facade of strong can be our worst nightmare
Mm-hmm.
because we are strong. We're taking the beatings. We're working the two jobs and coming home and cooking, and we're depleting ourselves in the name of being strong. And we got to step back and set the boundaries and know our limits and understand that we are human beings and we're emotional beings and we hurt and we feel and we cry
Absolutely.
and we're sensitive. We really got to get real with that, right? And then being Caribbean is funny on a platform because I was like, Lord, it's dear future husband and wifey. Get me through this one, Jesus. Get me through, get me through. So I'm going to try to keep it as real as I possibly can because I do believe in love and I do believe in marriage. And some would say I have Cinderella syndrome to the extreme. So that's true confession.
That's
That's
true
true to me.
confession.
But we as Caribbean folks,
We have
back in, you use the word
we
person. We measure our worth by being chosen by someone to be someone's wife.
yes.
And we don't look to choose who we would want to be our husband. We're sitting around waiting to be chosen, and we get chosen by the wrong one, end
Ooh,
up in these uncomfortable situations, but we don't want to look like we're not worth it. So we don't want to get out of it, and we stay in because we're going to be strong and creating a whole bunch of mess. I think we need to take ownership of our lives a little bit more in the choice of who we choose to bring into our life as husband, right?
My
That
God,
we
come
get
on
to
now.
choose. We got to become choosers, right? We sit down, oh, he got to chase me and I'm chasing, check. Get to know you,
Uh,
know who you are and what you're willing to bring into your and to with you. And don't let it be a measurement of who you are to your value in hooking up with husband. I know plenty women in my age group today that are happily living a fulfilling life with a study partner. Some don't have a study partner, and they're very happy and astute and engaged in their careers and raising their kids, and their value is not diminished. And I love love. Ooh, child, girl, let me tell you, I love the scent of a man. Honey, men's are just delicious. Trust. But that does not mean
yes,
I get to devalue me or
absolutely.
allow him to do so. Okay?
Right.
Doesn't mean that. And we got to become choosers in our own lives.
Yes.
So I just want to say that on this platform tonight. Future husband, future wifey. If my future husband is out there, call me 77031.
I
You got
cannot with
it.
you.
I'm just saying, he
I'm
might be
just saying.
knocking in. Oh,
Hey.
listen, and if he's not on, he could be somebody's cousin or something. Give him my number. Don't be shy. Invite me to the family barbecue.
Oh
Yes,
my
lovey.
gosh. When I spoke about you are so hilarious. Listen, I'm ready for the comedy segment, okay? Just do one. Just
This
one. Just
one?
sign up
Okay,
for
I got
amateur
you, sis.
night. We'll all come out.
I
Um
got you.
yes, when I spoke about strength, what I meant for strength was walking away.
Mm,
There is something powerful in walking away. That's when I meant strength. Walking away is powerful. A lot of
it
times we
is.
stay because we're like, oh, but there's strength in walking away. You're a strong woman when you're like, you know
Girl,
what,
I
I'm
stayed
not.
with that man for 10 years. For
Whew.
10 years trying to create a relationship that was no longer there because I had these two kids and I did not want to be a step next day. I was like, no, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. And it took strength. It really did. I remember he said to me, but the kids, what do I says, well, I got good insurance. I'm going to put them suckers in therapy if they need it. But I am not staying in this. And that walk, it feels like the 9 mile, but you get over it.
But now
You get over it. Life got
you
bigger and brighter. A man came into my life and showed me what adult grown up love was like. Oh, girl. I was like, damn, if I knew, I would have left sooner. It was not bad. It was not bad walking away.
listen, there's grace in walking away. It's a beautiful
Yes.
thing. Now, being the president and CEO of UBiG, you're impacting the Caribbean. As being Caribbean, in the Caribbean community, what does cultural leadership mean to you? Because listen, you always representing your culture and being from Barbados. You tell us, for those who've never been to Barbados, talk about this.
Okay. So you big. We like to say you big, we big, and that's you big for United Barbadians in Georgia. And
Yeah.
and leading that initiative, it's some big shoes to fill. It's some big shoes to fill, right? The journey is not always easy when you're representing culture. Our beautiful island of Barbados, it is gorgeous, and you always want to make sure you do it justice, right?
Right.
Being a woman leader in the Caribbean is not an easy feat. We're
I can
not often
imagine.
taken seriously. A lot of stuff is done to undermine us. It is quite an experience, right? It looks cute from outside, but it takes a lot of hard work, some sleepless nights, and a lot of sacrifices. Um, Barbados as an island, let me say this: we have a lot of different associations around that represent different islands. We have our gorgeous Rihanna. We have our Prime Minister, Honorable Mia Motley, that does some remarkable things in the Caribbean. And as a small island, you don't get to hear about us a lot, right? But we bring such a strong impact to the Caribbean world that I take it, I don't take this feat lightly to show up every and anywhere I go and represent Barbados boldly and
That's
proudly,
awesome.
right? All 166 square miles. I I recently told a joke, and in the joke, I said 144 square miles intentionally to make a point. Girl, as I'm sitting here talking to you, I swear I was about to say the 144. I was like, they will have my head. But um, we're a small island surrounded by water, and we enjoy the freedoms of that, right? Of walking onto our beach any given time of day. We're an island with a very low crime rate. We love. We love to drink. You have to. We talk about this. You know, we're the home of rum. I think that's where rum was made, and we just love a good rum. Monge is our rum in the island, and just the friendliness of the island is the one thing that Barbados holds strong to, right? We might not have a lot of, like, say, waterfalls and that stuff, but you land on the island and everyone's your friend, everyone is family, and you don't want to leave. It's breathtakingly gorgeous, just
Amazing.
gorgeous from one end to the next. We are lucky to have a very high educational rate where
That's
education is free. So we have a 98.8% literacy rate right now. That
that's
is really
awesome.
great for the island. So we don't necessarily migrate a lot, right? Because
Mm,
home is flourishing for us. We travel a lot. We do a lot of traveling. We go to Europe. In the US, we do California, New York, Miami, because we like to shop, right? And then take it back home. But visiting Barbados is just breathtaking. And on that trip, when you can come join me and see how wonderful Barbados is. And if you think this is a good time, wait till you see me with a drink.
this is a great opportunity to plug that you are sponsoring. The upcoming trip is sponsored by this amazing episode. So, what great opportunity to not only have you, but to have you guys sponsor this episode. So, this is a great time to plug in this trip. Being a sponsor, thank you so very much. That's our goal, to have more organizations come on board and sponsor each episode. So thank you guys. But let's talk about this trip. Let's talk about vacating, going away, coming to Barbados. Talk about what made you decide to do this trip.
Well, the trip is our first initiative with United Barbadians in Georgia, UBiG. We have adopted children in Barbados, right? Just a little background history here. As beautiful as flourishing as it's doing, we struggle like any other Caribbean community with healthcare. And we have excellent doctors, very great doctors. But there's a lack here and there in terms of equipment, right? And updated
Mhm.
things that they could use. And to help our hospital, we have adopted two clinics so that we can support them to take the load off the hospital because we have one hospital, right? And the hospital can now take care more of emergencies and things like that. And the low everyday primary care stuff, you can go to the clinic. So our goal is to help with that. So we have adopted two clinics. And on the north side of the island, we have the St. Peter Clinic. And this trip is a service trip. We're going to be met by the Lions Club in Barbados is joining us on the ground, and we're going to do a beautification project at the clinic. Just plant some flowers, paint a couple of benches, and make outside of the clinic look as beautiful as we can make it look. So when patients are waiting in between treatments, they're sitting outside, they're enjoying nature in a
Yeah.
beautiful, holistic manner, right? And that's like the first day that we get there, and we're able to go in and give back and do that for the trip. Then
Hmm.
after that, we get to till it up. We get to tour the island. We have a beautiful tour of the island plan. We have a boat cruise, party cruise plan where you get to swim with the turtles. That's when the turtles come up because the turtles, we have turtles that live in Barbados, and our waters are like crystal clear, so you can like see your feet and everything in the water, just beautiful, turquoise, so gorgeous. We have our oysters fish fry on Friday nights. We're gonna get to do that. We have night parties planned. Now those are the surprises. We have a few surprises lined up. We can't share everything with you. We're gonna be staying at a luxurious oceanfront property.
Oh,
We're going
nice.
direct on Delta. So
Come on,
everything is
Delta. That's
curated.
my
Yes.
airline.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And Delta, which is great, just started flying directly to Barbados, right?
Nice.
This is all about showing them the love of our culture, our country, and giving back all in one. It's a service project. It's like come for the service and stay for the magic is the type of thing that's going to go on. And with me, anything I do, there's always a something extra special, right? So anyone that signs up and comes on to this trip with us, we just finished we had $100 deposit special for my birthday for the month of June. So you missed out on that, guys. So now it's time to get started and get going, right?
Get
We're
going.
back to the two. It's over 200. I don't remember the exact number, but we're going to pay that off quickly and soon. But it's going to be a marvelous experience. Something you don't want to miss. A very great experience. Something you don't want
It's
to miss.
it sounds like a marvelous experience. And I think that everyone should travel and go different islands, different country. I think we should all step out of our comfort zone and go to different places. I know I've had the opportunity to travel several different places, otherwise from the fact that I was born in Jamaica, but I go other places other than Jamaica because you got to be able to see other places, which kind of brings me to my next question. What was it that inspired the launch? Like, what are some of the key supports that you offer to these women 18 to 35? Because that's a huge, like, I cater to women 35, women and men 35 to, I think, 55. Is it 35 to 55? Singles. So
Mhm.
18 to 35 is,
But let me tell you, when you empower women, you empower families, you empower and strengthen families, and communities then thrive, right?
that's
So
true.
when you capture those women in that group, you have that wide impact, right? So our goal is to provide resources to help women in our community. What's beautiful and funny about life is that society has positioned black women to thrive and to be very successful through education and their career goals. And when you come along and you have family and support and you follow that narrative, you're in a really great place. And then there's that bucket of us that miss that. They lack the parenting, they lack the guidance, they have the traumas. Those are the families that we're looking to help and support. On our website, on the We Foundation, we have transformational coaching, self coaching that you can go on and take a course and look at it. We have one going right now, heal your victim mentality. So you stop being a victim and you take ownership and power to create your rewrite your story moment. Let
Like
go of
that.
those thoughts, right? We offer re- resources for links to immigration help. You might need help with immigration, legal services. We have that advice there for you. DeKalb County offers a referral of different things in terms of housing initiatives and getting help to pay your rent and so on and so forth. You can go on to our website and look those things up on how you
Mhm.
can benefit from different resources and avenues out there. We will be hosting some workshops and stuff coming up for
I love
starting
it.
your entrepreneurial careers, building up, dealing with those traumas and blocking you from I mean, we've all had that moment. I remember reading Patti LaBelle's book, Block Blocking Your Own Blessing. I've done that. I've blocked my blessings
Yes.
many times. You just need support and someone to show you a way to navigate. So in my work, in my experience, I've came across so many women who are a little bit lost. And we aim at that We Foundation to give them those tools and resources to rewrite their story and change the game. We have the power within us. Sometimes we just need someone to show us how to do it.
We
And
do.
that's what we're
Oh,
here to
man.
do.
That is amazing. I There's so much to be said about all of the different things that I didn't realize in its entirety that you do, that I believe can kind of marry dear future husband and wife because of the impact that we're looking to make with women. I say women a lot because I relate, as a woman, I know what it's like to be a woman and I relate to a woman, but we want to be of help to the men as well. So we are looking to connect with men therapists and coaches because I'm getting ready to roll out something pretty soon. I worked on it today. So definitely we got to talk more about that. Um it kind of now leads me to, you've been in nonprofit leadership for over a decade. What is the biggest lesson you've had to learn about leading with a heart and strategy that you have? It sounds
What's
like you
the
have to go deep with
biggest,
that one.
biggest
That you've learned about leading
that
with
leadership?
heart and strategy.
Huh. Leading with heart and strategy. That let me tell you something. I had an experience, right? I was leading an organization, and this occurred in the last 3 years or so. I was in a position, and we were in a critical time, and I needed an initiative, and therefore I needed to only use specialty skill sets. That's the strategy to allow me to fulfill the goal that we were trying to get to, because that's the heart, right? In doing so, some folks under my leadership grew resentful, right? They grew resentful, and they felt like they weren't seen or heard, and in that they turned against me, right? The lesson that I learned is that when you're going to be in leadership, your people that's going to walk next to you, choose them. Don't have them assigned to you. Choose them. Always have people that believe in you and want to see you win. So that when things shift, it's not taken personally and jealousy doesn't set in, and then you have the rise up and then folks going against you. Because that was a real tough one to accept, because I was leading with heart. And I thought I had everyone, under that umbrella, and I was taking care of them. I could only use the specialties because of the time frame that we needed to execute within, right? And it cost me. It cost me. And I did not. I came into that leadership position onto a team that I did not choose.
Mm,
So when you're gonna lead, you choose your team. Choose your team and get you a team that wants to see you win.
mm.
That's the biggest thing that in all the years that I've ever endured, that was one of the toughest and hardest lessons. But I learned it. I learned it well.
You're like, I learned it and I learned it well. That's
Hmm.
Trust me, we've all gone through. If you plan on building something, if you are building something, this is Entrepreneur Monday. So listen, I got some stories too about having to humble myself and things I had to learn as a result of creating and building. Now it ain't my day to share my story, but I
Yeah.
know that in building dear future husband and wife, there were so many things that I've learned that I'm almost 4 years into creating the platform, and I was like, wow, I didn't know this then, but I know
Hmm.
it now.
Yeah.
And
And I
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
You have to like, I think that this is why people don't start, because they want to fine tune and they want to iron everything out and make everything perfect before you get started, but there are some things that you will learn when you get started, that no matter how you got everything all formulated and dot your i's and cross your t's, there are still some things that you will still miss in the process of developing and building a brand. No matter how much you're a perfectionist, no matter how much, there are still some things that you will learn. You will fail your way to success. listen, you will make some mistakes. People will fall off.
I'll say this. I'll say this to add to that. There's two things I want to say because that I want to round that up with. We drive at night, right? Dark, with the lights, the headlights on our car, just 50 meters. And we drive. We only see 50 meters and we keep driving. We don't know what's coming around the curve. We keep driving. And that's how I approach to life, right? Business and years at a time. I don't know what's coming up ahead. I don't know, but I'm prepared. I took the driving test, right? I got my license. So I got the tool now to navigate this world 50 meters ahead at a time. We can't plan for everything.
That's right.
Again, you don't know what's always going to come, right? You just have to have your faith and believing in you as you navigate. You might not be an entrepreneur and leading an organization. You just might be the woman of the house in your home, but you have to do it. You're taking that 50 meters at a time,
Yeah.
and you get it done. And I think the idea for this platform is brilliant, Simone. It would be great. And I love the idea that you're entertaining, speaking with men. I find that as women, I love supporting women. And I think that that is great that we do so. But to help heal our families, it's important that we also include men in the conversation,
Yes.
right? We need to understand them and know how to work with them because we sit around and we just and we don't know what we're talking about. We're just doing a lot of assuming, right? We need to really bring them into the conversation. They have
Oh
stuff to
man.
say, and they're
Listen,
not readers, but they'll talk.
listen to any men out there that's ready to be on the Entrepreneur Monday conversation. Come on and hit up your girl because I definitely need to have some men. I've had some phenomenal women, and I would love to see some men highlighted and have conversations with me as well. So, if y'all know of any great men that I can connect with, hit up your girl. Y'all know how to reach me, dear future husband on white and wife on all platforms. So thank you for saying that, Sophia, because it is necessary. Us women, we can always talk. Like we can talk, but we need our men who also have a lot to say. I have a segment on when I go on the road called When Kings Speak, and
Mm,
that's a segment that I love it. My son, I call him King. My partner, I call him King. In my house is King. But
okay.
when King speak, it's an opportunity. Like my son might be 19, but he's a king. Like I'm not raising anything but a king. Like
Right. Okay.
he went to the grocery store yesterday. I was out having a conversation. She was like, he's a boy. And I said, no, he's a husband. He's a husband. He's a husband in position. So therefore, I got to teach him so that when he meets his wife, she is getting a husband, not a. So I'm raising a husband. I'm
Account
raising
that
a
doesn't know who
king.
he is and his mama to think for.
Yes. See, he's being positioned. He's got to
Right.
know
He
how.
has to learn,
Know,
yeah, the role to protect, the
yes.
role to protect and provide, and what that really looks like, right?
Absolutely. So I'm raising a king. My husband is a king. So I would love to have more
Yes.
conversation with our kings about just different things because I you know what, it was an absolute pleasure having you. Not that the conversation's over, but I say that to say I love how Entrepreneur Mondays have been tied in with dear future husband and wife, the journey to I do, all of the different things that is under the umbrella. Entrepreneurship marries marriage. Entrepreneurship marries relationship. Like everything we do, they marry each other. And I love, Sophia, how you tied everything back in. We want to take the opportunity again to plug your trip that is coming out. Shout out to what's the what I kept saying Barbados, you big you big
You
for
big.
being a sponsor of this episode on tonight. But I love that everything that you said tied back to relationships. And I want to continue to carry those conversations because I can't be having 20 different segments. I'm only one person. I still got another Purpose Power call on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I can't incorporate something else, create another platform. So, Dear Future Husband and Wife really encompasses different aspects of the journey. We have the magazine, because it's all under the umbrella. So I love that you said that. We normally have a 30-minute segment, but Sophia was so amazing, y'all, that I couldn't keep her only for 30 minutes
Oh,
because,
wow. I didn't even realize that time had gone by like that. Oh,
girl,
wow.
time
I
has
enjoyed speaking with you as well, Simone. I
it
really did.
it was amazing. I hope y'all are enjoying this, and I have been clipping some of our conversations so that we can, highlight back these conversations. But as we wind things down, I want to kind of go into motherhood. You talked about motherhood and empowerment, and I love what you're doing because as a single mom and being a single mom and raising children, how has motherhood and supporting mothers shaped the way for you to show up in leadership and life coaching?
Well, the thing, okay, that's a good question. um, Let me answer it this way, like how you just said, relationships is key to everything that we do, right?
Yes.
And I teach a parenting class. And most folks would think that in a parenting class that the lesson is you wake up and you burp the baby and you hold the baby. No, parenting is all about self-love, nurturing.
Mhm.
You have
Yes.
to, parenting is by example, right? So you got to know how to love and nurture thyself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be an example to your children, and that affects how you parent and that guides you. So in that loving and nurturing way that I love me, and I teach that in my classes with my parents in the parenting class, transfers over into me leading in UBiG, right? It's always a loving and nurturing way that we go. we
Yes.
we go through our hurdles and we go through some things and we put on events and we do things and we give back to the community and we work hard and we get on each other's nerves. And then I say, you know what, girls, to treat your feet go together and we hang out and we have empowering team building moments where we stop and just love on each other, right? I can't be out here saying to the community, this is how you love and this is what you do, but then I don't love on my team.
Right.
I try to be the example in every which way. Being a mother now to adult children, they give me a lot of pushback because they're adult children and they felt like I was, I guess, too much there in their lives. So now they want to do their own thing and they want to be independent. However, and a little entitlement that these kids
Yeah.
have a little, no, not, we're not
Oh,
special over here. Is that parenting once they become an adult, right? Because they now have to learn to navigate the other side of life, right? Understanding their credit, buying their first car, preparing them to buy a home, and all of you said with your son, it's important to also teach your kids that love legacy,
yes.
right? I repeatedly would admit I want, need, and should have a man in my life to love on him and him to love on me. That's an example I want my son to see. That's an example I want my daughter to see. Healthy, loving relationship.
Yes.
Thing for me about what parenting is, it's about nurturing and loving oneself and being an example to your audience, your children.
Oh man, that's great.
I hope I answered I
Oh, you
navigate
sure
life.
did. You sure did.
Okay.
I was off your back. Hats off. It was off of your back that they were able to gain independence. It was off your back that Dr. Jackie said it was off his
That's
back that
nice.
they were able to gain independence. All right, so we're gonna wind things down a little bit. You wear many hats from being a coach, speaker, a visionary. Which role stretches you the most right now and why?
Wait, which role stresses me or stretch me? Which one?
Yeah, it might be both, but stretch you the
um,
most. Being a
Stretch.
coach, being a speaker,
They,
being a visionary. I feel like, girl, being a visionary stretches, boy.
but being a visionary, let me tell you, that's a gift, right?
Yeah.
That's a gift. That's a gift. I get things come to me in the morning, and I'm not a morning person. So this shit wakes me
Really?
up out my sleep. Yeah, I'm not a morning person. So it'll wake me up my sleep, and it'll come to me, and if it gets me real good, I will wake up and write it down. If not, I fight it and I go back to sleep because I don't want to wake up, right? But a lot of stuff. My VP, my right hand person, she would tell you. I call her at weird hours in the night. Such a good idea. Such a good. Like something is always popping. Something is always popping. My brain is always swirling. That one is not so hard. But coaching, I'm an empath.
Yes. Ooh.
I'm an empath. I take
Ah.
on I take on the energy, your
Ooh.
struggle, what you're dealing with. I will lose sleep at night trying to figure out how I'm going to help
Try to
you.
help.
How am I going to get
Mm,
you to open the door you need to open?
that's
Get you
so
the
true.
resources. That one stresses me the most. And then
Wow.
sometimes, as human, I too might be dealing with my own life struggle or challenge, right? And I got to fix the face and show up for someone else on the other end because they need me to pour into them. Meanwhile, I'm over here
Mm,
hollering, Lord help me. But I signed up to help them. So that sometimes can be a real stretch.
you're
That
right.
that one. That one.
You are absolutely
Yeah.
right. I think for me, being a visionary is like having these ideas and executing them and learning how to pivot and learning how to be patient because being a creative, things are coming. And like I had a whole like working on something and I'm just like, is this the right time for it? Because I know in my head I'm like,
Yes.
so I'm like, because ideas, ooh, when I tell you I always got a great idea, it's a beautiful thing. But sometimes the idea that comes to me now might not be for now. But sometimes I'm thinking it's now and it might not be. So I think that's why I was thinking being a visionary, because you're like, okay, I think this is so you want to execute it now, not realizing, well, it might not be for now, but right. But when you mention coaching, oof, I'm not an empath, but I am the same because I want people to get to the other side. I want people to know that there's this
Hmm.
beautiful experience on the other side. So I want you to have help and I want you to see it. And I have to learn, Simone, you can't try to fix that. I used to try to fix folks, y'all. Like, let me fix you. You can't fix nobody.
And what becomes with that, Simone, being an empath, I will make excuses for people mistreating me. Oh, it's
Mm,
because they're so and so, and because they're going through such and such, and this happened to them. So you gotta understand. And I gotta no, no, I gotta let
wow.
it go. Yeah, that yeah.
Yes. We're getting ready to roll out the 3C effect coaching under Dear Future Husband and Wife. Keep that in mind. Because
Hmm.
while I'm always giving advice and extending my time to others, it's going to be interesting because people come with different things from different walks of life. And I just want to do the shameless plug. I am looking to collaborate with coaches so that we can build an effective circle that we can have different resources available to these women because what I offer, my experiences are going to be different from Sophia's and Dr. Jackie. So I am looking to collaborate and connect with other coaches so that we can collaborate, work together, and offer help for the 3C effect. So y'all connect with me because I do believe that we really onto something with that. So as we wind things down, y'all, Sophia was my longest guest that I've had since I started Entrepreneur Monday. But
Oh.
the conversation has been phenomenal. We should head over to Instagram and do a little something, something. So we want to tie this conversation up with this. For the woman watching this who feels stuck and unsure of her next move, what would you say to her right now?
Oh, for the woman watching that feels stuck,
or
I think
unsure
sure of her next
of the
move,
next move.
we gotta sit with ourselves, right, and get quiet.
Yes.
When you know that you have planted your seeds, sometimes you just gotta sit and allow them to, right? Sometimes you're not necessarily stuck. You've planted the seeds, you've put in the work. Get quiet, get silent, let the visions come, and then execute accordingly. But don't rush the brush, and don't try to control everything around you.
Yes.
Sometimes releasing and just letting go allows low, and things will come together. It's not about giving
Absolutely.
up. It's not giving up at all. It's just stop, breathe, right? And let life flow. The universe sends back us the energy that we're giving out. If you're full of anxiety on the inside and anxiousness and worry and doubt, you're going to push that to the universe. The universe is sending it back. So you're feeling stuck. Let it go. Believe in you. It's going to come and you just flow with it. Just flow with it. Release. Stop holding on so tight. Let it go.
And I
And
want
that's
to
how you
add
do it.
to I want to add to what Sophia says. Listen, you cannot do anything without prayer. You got to incorporate some prayer. You got to be able to pray. Get around your prayer circle and pray. Get connected because listen, every one of us need a little bit of a helpmate. So, and helpmate is not just in a relationship setting, but helpmate is for like getting with your sisters and say, "Listen, I'm not 100% right now, or I'm just feeling a little stuck. I'm grateful for the
Exactly.
people in my life that while I'm the one always praying, you know."
But
But
and I want to just add in there to say big changes doesn't come from big moves. It comes from small steps taken consistently. Just take small steps consistently.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. So, thank you again for UBiG for being the sponsor of this episode of Entrepreneur Mondays. We are going to constantly be plugging in about this trip and this upcoming trip. So if you all want some more information, when I do the replay for this segment, I'm going to be putting that information in the description of the episode. So, Miss Sophia, any final words, anything? Plugging in with the right people is essential. Absolutely. Absolutely plugging in with the right people is essential. Any final words, anything that you want to leave with the people? How can we connect with you? What you got coming up?
No,
Because
okay.
you
So I
you
just well, let
busy.
me. I'm always busy. So you can follow me at I am Sophia LH on Instagram. And you can follow UBiG on Instagram at UBiG246 underscore. And we're on Facebook, United Barbadians in Georgia. We have the trip coming up in October. That's the 9th to the 14th of October over the Columbus Day weekend. We're getting ready for our big November Independence Gala and Award Scholarship. That is November 15th, coming around.
Okay.
I'm working on that. May happen in September. Speak to that more as you follow me as we go along. And I just want to say thank you so much, Simone, for having me. It has been my pleasure to sit
It has
with
been my
you and your
pleasure.
audience. I totally enjoyed my time with you, and I look forward to further collaborations in the future. I see bright things in our future.
Come on now, see bright things in our
Okay.
future. Yes, bright
Yes.
things. So, with that being said, honey, thank you so much once again. And y'all stay tuned for the bright things that are coming up in
They're
our
coming up.
future. Thank y'all for tapping in. Have a great night, y'all. Good night.
Good night.